This image right here, what if I told you that someone counted every single tree in this image and there are over 14,000? I don't even think GTA 5's entire map has 14,000 trees, and apparently we have that many just in this one picture of the Keys area. Now here is the official post from this guy, and there's a couple of things that you could say. Number one, assuming this is entirely true, GTA 6 fans have just lost it completely. We're counting trees. That's really where we're at. That's where Rockstar has people at. We're counting trees in a screenshot for a game that comes out in what, 6-ish months. Number two, you might just say this is some BS because, I mean, if we zoom in here now, I'm not sure if this is the highest resolution image they've put out there, but it's the one I downloaded whenever they did release them. How do you even tell, how many trees are here? This is just, it's just green. And then especially in the distance on some of these other islands, I mean, maybe this one you can tell how many trees there's. Like, it kind of looks like you can somewhat make out a difference, but the ones way out here, I mean, what, you can't even see what's happening. That's just a blur of mess. So I guess that's another point. Like maybe this guy actually has just lost it, gone schizo, and is just saying stuff. And of course people are believing it because no one else is counting the trees. That is a very real possibility. Or three, you just accept this as reality, and this guy did somehow count 14,287 trees in this image. As far as how he did it, let's read the Reddit post here. He took the uncompressed PNG from the mapping Discord, dropped it into Photoshop, put a grid overlay dividing the whole image into small squares so he wouldn't double count anything or lose his place. And then he used a tool, the count tool in Photoshop, and tallied a number every time he clicked. It says if you zoom in 500%, you can actually see the ambient occlusion separating each tree because of the sun angle. And he said just getting through the dense jungle area right under the plane, I'm assuming this part down here, that took him multiple hours. And then he apparently used math to figure out the farther islands and the trees on that, calculated the total surface area of that green color, and used the density from the mid-ground chunk to multiply it out. So there you go. He took, I guess, what Rockstar's done here and then just, assumed they were doing the same for some of these other further islands. And the total count is about 14,000, which if you do compare to the Guarma screenshots from RDR2, and I'll put some Guarma shots up here in a moment, this new Rage engine iteration is at least 4 times the foliage density of Guarma and of RDR2. So here are some Guarma screenshots, and I think a lot of us maybe thought back in the day, since this island never really got used a whole lot, it kind of felt like it was just added in here at the last minute. Obviously there was that one little story part in the game that took place here, but it really felt like this place didn't have a whole lot to it. And a lot of us thought that maybe they were using this as a testing ground for GTA 6. So maybe we will get some islands, like Bahama-esque islands like Guarma here, with much higher density. But even just showing some regular RDR2 footage, obviously we're down here in the swamp. This game already feels very dense and feels very good when it comes to the trees and all this stuff that makes up the swamp. It feels very believable. And if we're going to get 4 times the density of this, that is quite insane. I mean, just looking at the actual image here with all the trees, apparently, how are we going to navigate through this little forest area? That seems like it's going to be quite chaotic. Hopefully they don't do what they did with the Cayo Perico, where you can't even walk into these little areas. If you're unaware, on the Cayo Perico island, the actual bushes are like concrete walls. You just stop the instant you hit them. But this, I mean, yeah, this does look very, very dense. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think you'll be able to drive a car or anything through any of these little forests. Maybe these will be good areas to escape from the cops. You could do that in GTA 5. If you're in like a bush, the cops can't see you. So this obviously, maybe we'll just take that to another level. But yeah, that's actually one of my big questions looking at this. Like, how the hell are we going to be able to navigate through some of these tree areas? Because they do look very intense. And even in this screenshot of the Grass Rivers area, it's maybe not as crazy as maybe that first screenshot that we just looked at, but it is still very dense with the foliage, with some of the trees. I mean, we can see cars driving through this, and even a boat there. But even compared to RDR2, like this does just really look like on another level as far as the amount of foliage that Rockstar is putting in this game. And that obviously does lead to the question, will they downgrade that? Because they did do that with GTA 5, if anyone remembers. I think the beta screenshots were leaked a couple years back. There was a lot more trees in the city and around the map. I think they removed them for performance reasons, but will something similar happen with GTA 6? That is a very real worry that you could have. I mean, it does look like in the Mount Calaga area, there's not going to be as much density. Like, obviously you have two hunters like walking through the trees. So I think the northern part will be a little bit more open and not as like claustrophobic with the trees and the bushes. And I mean, even in this one, you can see there's still like a lot of room here, a lot of openness here with the forest. But down in the Keys area, as we're seeing here, and as we saw in the Grass River shot, I mean, there's a lot of trees. There's a lot of density here when it comes to the foliage. And even at looking at some of the images, this is a thing down by the Keys as well. I wonder how the density is going to impact just getting around on foot. Like if you can hop over fences, or maybe you can't because the trees are in the way. Can we climb trees all of a sudden in this game? Not like as a mini game, but will you be able to traverse over the trees and over the bushes? I mean, I'm sure Rockstar, of course, has thought about all this, and I doubt it's going to be annoying, but it is something new I've been thinking about after seeing that image and the guy counting the trees. I mean, 14,000 trees, that's quite a lot. Now, that was the main thing I wanted to talk about in today's video, but there's actually another thing I want to just mention here briefly. There's been a rise of very fake images, especially on Twitter. I'll just scroll through some here. Like here we have one of Jason just down in the Keys area somewhere. It looks very, very believable, right? You have Jason, I mean, the HUD maybe isn't believable, but the actual image itself with the Leonida Keys sign over on the left, you have the Brian's Boatworks in Marina over on the right, Brian's Bar. It looks very, very believable, the screenshot part. This is all AI. And here we have another one of, you know, Jason and Lucia, maybe in the finale of the game. Who knows how the game's gonna end. But again, it does look pretty believable. Here we have another one of them in conversation. The HUD part, I think, is the biggest part that just gives away, because I doubt Rockstar is going to do anything like this. But the actual image itself looks pretty damn good. Here we have another one of just a car driving. And all of these images are coming from the new ChatGPT image thing that they just released like a week ago. So I know I've been mentioning this over the last couple of months, but as these AI images get more advanced, I mean, it's going to be very hard to tell the actual reality from these fake images. And here's one that I just asked it to do, and it came out fairly believable. I mean, there's some stuff like in the distance that looks a little wonky, but I mean, it's kind of crazy that this is where we're at with the AI imaging. So pretty much anything, if you ever see it online that's not from Rockstar and people are saying it's a new GTA 6 leak or new GTA 6 screenshot, it's probably from this AI model. And the unfortunate part is if you're just glancing, like, they do look very believable. So it might be a little hard to differentiate. But again, if it doesn't come from Rockstar, odds are it's probably just AI. But that is going to do it for today's GTA 6 video. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up on the new fake leaks, quote unquote, that are out there, and also talk about the density of the game, because that, if that's true, 14,000 trees in that freaking image, that is insane. Do you think Rockstar are gonna downgrade that a bit when the game does come out? That'll be the interesting part, I think, to me. But thank you guys for watching. That's gonna do it for today's GTA 6 video. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more GTA 6 content, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.